Hey YouTube. Anyway, we gonna get into a sort of a trigger warning video here. Gonna be a bit more of a yeah. If you can read this, CDC, homosexuality raising in teens. Now, I've looked at the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, and really this is the closest I can find. But like it's not anything. It's not what this article is related to. So if you can actually find this CDC report, then show it to me. But like let's get on into some biased comments here. Barbed wire. That's the website name. We're gonna get in here. Okay, so let me read this. And I'm going to be mentioning commentary while I do this. America is doing a terrific job of pushing homosexuality in schools, and as a result, more of our kids are engaging in this behavior and adopting the identity. Okay, I mean, like, you used the word terrific, so that doesn't really mean anything. That what exactly is your point? Well, let's actually get on to this. I've actually read this all the way. Um, a major center for disease control CDC study provides. Oh, maybe this will actually give me the link. I think this is the exact same spot I already looked at. I think this might have actually been the same one that I looked at. Maybe. Okay, so they actually did get a CDC report on this. What states did they even cover? It shows it right there. I know I'm taking time out of this. I just want to see a few things. States did not participate. States underweight results. State weighted results. Okay, Indiana is my home state, so I was actually wondering why didn't I take this sort of survey? But like yeah, I don't necessarily believe in these types of surveys because they don't really get to every single person in the world, you know. They don't really get if you're really going to get a accurate answer to this question, then ask every single school in the US. All right, ask them. Okay, so this 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 tourist news should be major media headlines. A few propaganda progressive are progressives are happy, I'm sure, along with radical homosexual groups like GLSEN, as well as the corrupt teachers union, the NEA, and others. Okay, the GLSEN is basically like it's more of like a safe space for LGBT youth, and that's really all they are. They're just like a more positive message for the LGBT community. That's really all they are. But for most of us, the CDC Youth Risk Behavior Survey YRBS paints a grim picture with dire consequences for the long-term well-being of our nation's youth. Trending. Are you ready for Democrat socialism and mob rule? In 2017, almost 15% and 14.6% of teens labeled themselves gay, lesbian, bisexual, or unsure. In 2015, that figure was 11.2%. Okay. And reckless, risky conduct remains higher among this self-labeled non-heterosexual group. The CDC bulimia study included surveys of ninth through 12th graders in 39 states and 21 large urban school districts, which is exactly to the point of they don't actually really get to an accurate description, really. They don't get to a very accurate description. Alright, this is not an accurate survey. Alright, I think that if you're really going to get the true answer to this, actually look at every single school in the United States and see how they're doing. Because all this page is really doing is just like giving survey answers to like damage gay people. The survey asked students to check a box about what best describes them: heterosexual, gay, lesbian, bisexual, or unsure. Why exactly would you put heterosexual and then gay, lesbian, bisexual, or unsure? Why not just straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, or unsure? Like, straight would have been better. I mean, like, really. The transgender label is not part of this survey. Teens were then quizzed about various risk behaviors. Here are some of the findings. The bisexual label is rising fast, especially among girls. Yes, I can actually see this at my school. This is something I can actually see at my school. And really, yes, it really is. It like the only LGBT people I know are girls who are bisexual. So yeah, it is kind of going up, but like that's what exactly should that mean? Like nothing really. In 2015, 9.8% of girls called themselves bisexual. In 2017, that number rose to 13.1%, and sexual experimentation is sharply higher among the GLB or unsure teens than among their heterosexual peers. As the YRBS survey found in 2015, the gay, lesbian, bisexual, or unsure GLBU, which, from my understanding, what they're actually saying here is gay, lesbian, bisexual, unsure. Which really, it's questioning. The correct word is questioning, which absolutely proves they know very little about the LGBT community. Students are much more likely to be sexually active, to have had sex before age 13, to have had sex with four or more partners, and to have experienced sexual or physical non-sexual violence. Wait, what? Like the if this is actually true, then these just sound more like coincidences. And plus, not very many people identify as gay, so like of course that number's kind of gonna be higher in a way than the straight students. If this really is the case, which really I honestly doubt the fact that kids are having sex before age 13. I kind of doubt that fact, really. Unless if they're reaching puberty at an early age, I really doubt that fact. Like, really. Homosexual, bisexual, or unsure teens were more likely to have drunk alcohol even before age 13, to be current cigarette smokers, to drive a car after drinking alcohol, to not wear a seatbelt when riding in a car driven by someone else, or to ride with a driver who had been drinking alcohol. Okay, um, I get very serious about people not wearing seatbelts. I do. Like, and here's the thing though. Like, I'm gay, and like, whenever I mention about wearing seatbelts, people at my school kind of see me as being stupid for thinking that, oh, yeah, people at my school actually think I'm kind of stupid, either a hypochondriac or I'm arrogant, whenever I say that if you don't wear a seatbelt, you could injure someone else in the car. And to them, that's being a hypochondriac and arrogant. So, really, in that case, I'm actually the one trying to be safer here. I'm actually more safer. And I'm gay myself, and it's like, what? Like, this is exactly why they should have these types of surveys more out there, like they should, if they're gonna make these types of surveys, have them more out there, because this doesn't represent the entire LGBT community. This does not. It really doesn't. Alright, a majority of these, if this is even true, are just coincidences. Alright, they really are. And trust me, it's gonna get worse from here. They were more likely to use marijuana and other drugs to carry. Also, something else. My school actually did have some kind of survey, and one question that was asked is, what type of drugs have you been using in the past 9 months? I remember that question too. And this was absolutely on the public. Like, they were anonymously answered, but like it had projections of the stats. A majority of the students drank alcohol. Well, not a majority of the school, but like the majority of the drugs that were actually used by students was actually alcohol. And then the second highest was marijuana. And then there was a little bit of a percentage of students who claimed to use heroin. Like, no joke. Like, the students who actually used alcohol, those stats actually got to around 40%. I am not joking about that either. That actually got up to 40%. And now it's just one school. And the thing is we don't really encourage homosexuality at our school. Like this article claims to. I don't really see how you could be encouraging it or promoting it in any sort of way. Like, really. They were more likely to use marijuana and other drugs, to carry a weapon on school property, to be threatened with a weapon, or to have been in a fight on school property. Okay, so now they're saying that gay people bring weapons in school now. Like that's really what they're going with. They also reported being more victimization, and including a higher incidence of being bullied as, as electronically or on school property and not going to school because of safety concerns. They are also more likely to have considered or even attempted suicide. Now, this right here might sound like, oh well, yeah, they're sounding like, yeah, maybe this page is kind of putting a bit more on support, but no, it's really not. What it's really doing here is trying to say, well, they commit suicide and they get bullied, and pretty much they're putting that on their life. That's pretty much what they're saying here. Oh yeah, this is gonna be the best part. I've already read this, but like this is the best part. The GLB or unsure teens are more likely to spend 3 hours or more a day on video or computer games or watching television. They are also more likely to be overweight. You heard that correctly. Gay people are more likely to be spending their time watching stuff like YouTube videos and playing game playing video games and watching TV. Let me remind you though that this is all from teenagers that go to school. These were all from kids grades 9th through 12th grade, according to what I'm understanding. And yet, a problem that you have is that they're spending a lot of time playing video games and computer games. Oh man, gay kids have it all, like they have it all. They get to play video games a whole lot. Man, I wonder what they do. Or maybe they're just saying like they don't spend enough time on school. Maybe that's actually what they're saying. But like the overweight comment though, that's a very serious problem in the US and it's most likely going to be a thing. So again, that's really just a coincidence. This is all just coincidences. That's really all they are. Like, this really doesn't represent the whole community. It really doesn't. I don't understand why people would even think this represents the whole community, but like people do actually think that this stuff actually represents the whole community. Some questions yielding unique and troubling results. For instance, on a question about whether the student had ever driven a vehicle after smoking marijuana, table 13, 12.2% of heterosexually of the heterosexually identifying kids said yes, but among those identifying as gay, lesbian, bisexual, or unsure, 42.2% answered in the affirmative. Okay. What about those who don't have a car though? Or just don't drive? Cause I would also be a part of the group that don't have a license. I would be a part of that group that don't have a license. Cause really I don't have a license. So it's like what I don't understand what you're saying here. What about the people who don't have a license? Like really? That's what I want to know. Is there a percentage of people who don't have a license? Like, bring up that percentage too. Like, don't just bring up the whole. They do marijuana before driving. The trend veers sharply towards self-destructive choices. Certainly, victimizations reflected by bullying is an action intended unjustly by others, but most of the rest of the surveyed behaviors are totally within the power of these confused homosexual and questioning kids to refuse. What? Totally within the power of. Yeah, that's kind of. I kind of am confused by the last sentence. I really am there. By the last sentence, like, but most of the rest of the survey behaviors are totally within the power of these confused homosexual and questioning kids to refuse. Either it's to refuse their sexual orientation, which then they're saying that it is a choice, or they're saying to refuse the destructive behavior. And also another thing, the trend veers sharply towards self-destructive choices. Being gay is just a small part of that. Like, yeah, it's just a small part of you. So it's like that's your own thing. That really is. It's really just a coincidence, and that's really your own thing. Well, you got like a very low amount of people who are actually gay, and it's like, of course, you're gonna have a bit more of a higher number if you're asking these types of questions. And also, these are high school students. You also want to get on the fact that they might be lying. That they might be not telling the truth, really. The ready explanation of progressives is to blame harmful LGBTQ behavior on low self-esteem. Finally, they actually used the word LGBTQ. I was actually starting to think they didn't know that word. Okay, behavior on low self-esteem and stigma, but this doesn't hold up. Why sexual experimentation? Why drinking and drugs? Immaturity, confusion, prior victimization, through molestation, and lack of sound adult guidance are probably more likely factors than discrimination. Oh my god, you did not just go there. Oh, they really just went there. Okay, This is just like immaturity, confusion, prior victimization through molestation. Oh wow, you really did not just go there. Like this is something that is very that's a very common stereotype, and I really don't think that that has anything to do with being gay. I really don't. I don't think that has anything to do with being gay. And lack of sound, adult guidance are probably more likely factors than discrimination. Oh, okay. Um, no, that's not how it works. That's really not how it works. Really, I'm telling you that right now. That's really not how being gay works. Basically, what they're saying here is that okay, being immature and confused, and then that you were a victim of being molested as a child, and then it's the fact that your parents are the ones who are responsible for the fact that you're gay. That's what they are saying. And really, I am actually very mature. I'm a very mature person. In fact, a lot of people believe that I am very mature for my age. And really, I would agree with that. As a guy, yeah, a lot of other guys at my school are very immature. Alright, in fact, I am actually one of the most mature people at my school. I for real am. When answering a question about drinking alcohol before age 13, table 96, 14.9% of the students who called themselves heterosexual said they had done it, but 41.6% of GLB unsure students answered yes. My God. Can you come up with these statistics of the people who actually have licenses? Oh wait, this is about drinking alcohol. This has nothing to do with driving. Okay, like I said before, around 40% of my school openly admitted to doing alcohol. I do not believe that 14.9% of students who are straight would just be alright. Yep, I drink alcohol. I don't think that many students would be like, I drink alcohol. I think it would be a lot more higher than that. Considering the fact that alcohol is actually legal, alright, and easy to get a hold of. And heterosexual students were much less likely, 39.1%, and to have had sexual intercourse. Homosexual, bisexual, and questioning students answered yes much more often, 76.8%. Where are all these people having sex at? Like, really, I've never had sex. I'm being serious with that. I've never had sex. I'm a complete virgin. And yet this survey says that 76.8% of students around my age group who are gay have had sex. And 39.1% of them that are straight have had sex. And I'm still virgin. Where are these statistics even coming from? Like, is this even for real? Like, I understand that it came from an official source, but maybe it could have been faked. Could there be a possibility for it to be faked? Because I did show you the whole thing. So could there be a possibility for it to be fake? I don't know. Schools and parents should recall these results when considering pro-homosexual lessons or comprehensive sex education (CSE) curricula that normalize anal, oral, and vaginal sex for abstinence, abo- adolescents. The evidence shows many teens are experimenting with these behaviors. Unfortunately, the dire outcomes, teen pregnancy, and sexually transmitted diseases are not the topics of questions in the YRBS. I'm actually going to look up the YRBS right after I get done with this video. They should be a non-heterosexual sexual identity or considering one. Did I miss something? Oh, I get it now. A non. Okay, then heterosexual identity or considering one is highly associated with having sex as a teen or younger. Okay, so this is basically saying that schools should encourage heterosexuality now. That's basically what it's saying. Which really encouraging either sexual orientation is really not good. I don't think that you should encourage a kid to be gay or straight. I think you should let that be up to the kid and not try to force it on them. While only 3% of heterosexual teens experience sexual intercourse before age 13, Table 135, 10.2% of the GLBU teens had done it. So, this tragic statistic probably reflects sexual abuse. Such a heartbreaking experience is very likely a factor in that child's later sexual confusion. No study has found that. Oh, wait. Let me talk about this one. How are these kids having sex before 13? Like, really? How exactly do you do that? And it's 10.2% who have, apparently. Okay, now let's get on to the next one. No study has found that homosexuality is inborn. A major study in 2016 reviewed current research and found no genetic linkage, despite numerous attempts to discover one. Why are schools promoting LGBTQ behaviors as if they are positive and necessary? Well, then if there is no genetic linkage, then we'll look up XQ28. Like, look up this gene. The maker came to the public. I in 1993 when studied by Dean Hammer and others incidented a link between the XQ28 maker and male sexual orientation. The 1993 study by Hammer examined 114 families of gay men in the United States and found increased rates of homosexuality among maternal uncles and cousins, but not among parental relatives. This pattern of inheritance suggests that there might be linked genes on the X chromosome since males always inherit their copy of the X chromosome from their mother's polymorphosis of genetic maker on the X chromosome were analyzed for 40 families to see if a specific maker was shaped by this disproportionate amount of brothers who were both gay. The results showed that among gay brothers, the consonant rate for makers from the XQ28 region were significantly greater than expected for random Malay segmentation incidents that a link did exist in that small sample. It was concluded that at least one form of male homosexuality is preferably transmitted through the maternal side and is genetically linked to the XQ28 region. So yes, there is actually genetics behind homosexuality. There is actually genetics. So if you want to use that argument, don't use it. Among large urban school districts, which is pretty much where they went most of the time, I don't understand why go there. Why not go for more? Oh, wait. Yeah, urban. Urban is the right word. Yeah, why go to the big cities, you know? Why not go to more rural areas, you know? Why focus on the big cities? Higher numbers of students reporting homosexual or questioning identity were found in New York City, 25.3%, Baltimore, 22.4%, Duval County, Florida, Jacksonville, 21.5%, Chicago, 18.4%, District of Columbia, 18.4%, Cleveland, 17.9%, Houston, 17.6%, Detroit, 17.5%, DeKalb County, Georgia, Atlanta area, 17.3%, and Shelby County, Tennessee, Memphis, 17.2%. Do you see a pattern here? Large progressive leaning urban school districts, those friendly to the LGBTQ community, are Planned Parenthood school agendas are getting predictably rotten results. Does homosexual attraction cause those other hazardous behaviors? Well, certainly not all of them, but this is a picture of teens who are unstable and reckless, and whatever issues cause this recklessness are possibly the root of confused sexual feelings as well. Should we be trying to prevent all these high risk behaviors, including homosexuality? Absolutely, it is change and preventable, but will our schools listen? They may if you step out and tell them, parents. Tell them, parents. Oh, wow. So now they're encouraging schools to actually try to discourage from homosexuality. That's actually what they're trying to do here. And that's really not going to do anything. What that really is going to do, though, is just make it more worse for kids who are gay. Alright? Being gay is a sexual attraction, and really it doesn't have anything else to do with you. It's a sexual attraction. You really can't control it. It's something that mostly comes from the brain, and really you can't control something like that. Homosexuality has been around forever. Take this information to your next school board meeting. The opinions expressed by colonists are their own and do not necessarily represent the views of barbed wire. Oh wow, this is really something right here. Like this is really something. Oh I can't do this anymore. Oh, oh wow. So what the writer of this is actually saying is that we should, well, yeah, Harvey Linda Harvey is the writer of this. Oh God, I want to see your other stuff. What type of other stuff do you have for me to look at? Like really, because I want to see that right now. It's probably like more anti-gay stuff. Okay, let's actually. Linda Harvey is president and founder of Mission America and hosts week radio talk show and daily commentaries on 880 AM WRFD Columbus. Linda is author of the book Maybe He's Not Gay, Another View on Homosexuality. Yep. Wow. I should have seen that one coming. Oh my god. Speaking of distributed, a lot of these. Wow. I really hope this person is a troll. And the thing is, they're spending this much time. They're not a troll, alright? They're not a troll. They're actually being serious. No one would actually go and get a radio station about, like, all this type of stuff. Why? Why would you do that? Oh, wow. And really, the thing is, they really just don't want gay people. That's it. That's really it. That's really it. They really just don't want gay people. Oh my god. I'm gonna look up maybe he's not gay. I am.